Hi and welcome to the Creative Pixie YouTube channel. My name is Jean and I'm coming to you today from Belfast in Northern Ireland. I mainly talk about crochet, knitting, cross stitch, all kinds of crafty things on my channel, so if you're interested in those things too, then please stick around and check out the rest of my videos. Today's episode, we've hit a bit of a milestone. We're on episode 20. And I thought to get me back into the groove of filming some videos, I would share this video on crocheted and knitted shawls that I have made in the past. So I have the majority of them here, although a couple have been gifted, so I will be inserting photos of those while I talk about it. I think the best way to do this is to talk about them in chronological order, the order that I made them in. So the first shawl that I made was the 9 Lives Shawlette by Becky Robinson, and this was back in 2018. So this is one skein shawl, and as you can see I crocheted it out of a bright pink yarn called Shockwave, and that was dyed by Green Elephant Yarns. As you can see from the photos, quite a small shawl, and was very quick to crochet up. Now, I think I made this for going down to the Woolen Yarn Festival in Dublin. And it was a very quick knit. I think this maybe took about a week or so to crochet up, and it used just one skein of 4-ply sock yarn. So I'd really recommend this as a quick gift crochet for a present for someone. And as you can see, it's got quite a it's quite a lacy design, and then it has a kind of serrated edge to it. Serrated, is that the right word? Kind of a soft zigzag edge to it, shall we say. The next shawl that I crocheted was the Loft Shawl by Faye Dashper Hughes. I have this here. I think this was, when I crocheted this, kind of everyone was all about the greyish, the kind of yellow, beige, grey kind of colours, and that's what inspired this shawl here. As you can see, it's a bit wonky. I've brought it out of storage. And that's it there. So I crocheted this in 2018, and this is quite a luxurious shawl because I crocheted it out of 3 yarns, and all 3 yarns were 50% wool, 50% silk. So it's a really beautiful, silky, soft shawl, which is excellent for like wrapping it round your neck, which is how I usually wear this one. As you can see, so there's no kind of prickle factor around your neck and your ears. It's lovely and soft and really, really cozy. The yellow, let's see if I take this off. Oh, there we go. So as you can see, beautiful buttery yellow kind of yarn, and the yellow is by Bear and Sheep's Clothing Company, and the yellow is the colour Nectar, and then there's 2 shades of grey in here. The silvery shade. So you can see here the grey, this is the silver colour from Skein Queen in lustrous, which is 50% silk, 50% wool, and then the dark grey, that's also from Skein Queen in the lustrous. So I really like this shawl. It's actually quite long, longer than my arm span. And as you'll see from the photos that I'm inserting, the colours have changed somewhat because silly me left it to soak in a wool wash. So the yellow came out and has transferred onto the silver, but actually it doesn't detract from the piece. So that is the Loft shawl. So another crocheted shawl. My next shawl is the Bajagi shawl. Have I pronounced that right? I hope I've pronounced that right. My next shawl is the Bajagi shawl, and the pattern is by Knit Boop. And this is a gorgeous shawl with lots of different textures. You've got a kind of you've got a garter stitch in it. You have mosaic knitting, is that what it's called? And some kind of almost kind of like fancy cable kind of stitches, which make for a really beautiful piece, beautiful garment to wear. So my favourite bit, I'll show you the whole shawl first. Let me check I've got it right way up. So we're starting at the end, moving into the kind of slip stitch, then into the kind of fancy cabling, then back into the slip stitch again, back into the slip stitch again, and then into the garter stitch. So my favourite bit is this bit here. I'll insert a photo of it properly so you can see it. So that's my favourite bit, and I just love these colours. So I knit this in 2020, the year that was, and I have fond memories of sitting outside in the garden in the summer actually knitting this. It just reminds me of those long days where you weren't really supposed to go out and mix with people, so we were very lucky to have a lovely big back garden. So I sat out there on the garden bench underneath the plum and the apricot trees and knit up this shawl. And this shawl, this is another one with kind of really beautiful yarn that had been in my stash for a couple of years, and it just looked so gorgeous. I really wanted a real knit-worthy project to use up these two skeins, and the skeins are by Countess Ablaze in the Tia Merino kind of not colourway, there must be a better word for it, I can't think of it, but you know what I mean, the kind of the fibre. It was I think it was singles. Yes, I think it was singles. And the colourways were Let Them Eat Cake, which was this purpley colour, and then Stage Fright, which was the kind of multicoloured cream, green, orange and purple. So I don't think Countess Blaze is working anymore, or dying anymore, should I say. So these two skeins knit up this beautiful scarf, and I love to wear it as a scarf. And again, because it's such luxurious wool, it's just so nice to wear around your neck, and definitely keeps you cozy. beautiful piece. I keep saying piece like it's a work of art. I mean, in some ways it is a work of art. You know, the design of the stitches and the final garment. It is like a piece of art. I don't know why we keep saying that you know, knitwear and crochet are crafts and not pieces of art, because to me this is a beautiful piece of art, and I'm so pleased with how the stitches all came together in this to make a really beautiful garment. So that is the Bajagi shawl by Knit Boop. On to another shawl, another knit shawl, and this is the Sunlight shawl, I call it. The actual pattern was called the Sunlight Shawl for Sad People, and this was by Sylvia McFadden. And I kind of did my own twist on it. I didn't follow the pattern to the letter. I made some changes to it. So this is the shawl here. So 2 colours for this knit shawl. As you see, it's got some lace work in the middle, and in the blue area I have done stockingette, and then I've added in some garter stitch just to give it a wee bit of texture. So the story behind this, the colours that I chose for this shawl, was that originally I thought I could knit up this shawl in one large ball of the purple yarn, which is this was knit in Debbie Bliss Fine Donegal. So this colour is blackberry and the blue is called denim. And if I hold it up close, you will see that the blackberry has purples, pinks, there's some blue, some grey, green flecks in it, and then these colours are kind of mirrored in the blue yarn, which has some purples, greens, greys in it. So the story behind this shawl was that I started it back in 2015, and I did really well working away at it, and then I ran out of the purple, and so with running out of the purple I ran out of steam knitting it, and it was relegated to my craft area. It was relegated, it was bagged up and forgotten about for 5 years. So back in 2020, when I was on a shawl making kick, I decided, well, I went through all my yarn and found this languishing and thought, right, I've got to finish that because I started it 5 years ago. And I decided to buy a different colour, because my concern was, because it had been 5 years since I had bought the blackberry, I thought if I bought another blackberry it just wouldn't be the same. So I decided to buy a different colour, a contrasting colour, and that's why I chose the denim blue. So with this one I had mainly worked the main part of the body in the kind of stockingette stitch. I had added in the denim blue, and then I kind of got sick of all that stockingette, and that's why I decided to add in some garter stitch sections into it just to knit it up, and I pretty much knitted it until I felt that it was at a good size, because I wanted to make sure I used up a lot of the blue, so I kind of had to keep going until I got to a point where I thought, no, this is going to be the last not round, because you don't do it in round, it's worked flat, but I thought if I do it until I run out, then I won't need to buy any more, and that will be me. So this here Debbie Bliss yarn has a bit of bite to it. It's not as soft as the previous yarns that I've used with the wool and the silk mix, but it's still a really nice scarf, and this is actually the one that I've been wearing lately, and it's so nice and cozy. Scarf is really cozy to wear, and actually in particular I like to wear this across the back of my shoulders. I like to wear this across the back of my shoulders like this. And it almost makes me feel like I'm a character out of Little Women when I wear it. I don't know why. I think it's because the wool is a bit more rustic feeling, as like how I would imagine wool to be back in the day. So yeah, I like to pretend I'm a character from Little Women when I wear this shawl, and it just keeps me so warm and cozy, and I really like wearing this. So my final shawl is called the Hinterland shawl, and the design is by Zines and Rogers, and this is a crochet shawl that I made back in 2021, and this was a birthday present actually for my sister, so I don't have it to show you now, but I can show you some pictures of it. And this shawl went for another two-tone shawl and this was crocheted using King Cole fashion iron, and I think that was like a wool acrylic mix, I'm going to say. And the colours are Kintyre, that's the light colour, and the grey colour is Flint. So as I said previously, this was crocheted up for my sister for her birthday, and I really like the design of it. So being crocheted up in iron, this shawl is actually really chunky and cozy. And I should say, when I gifted this to my sister, it was July, so the height of summer in Northern Ireland here. So she didn't properly get wearing it until later on last year when the temperatures dropped. This shawl is really nice to actually wear just across your shoulders, covering your back. It's really cozy. It's also nice wrapped around your neck, because it's so chunky. It's a good windbreak, and so I'm reliably informed that my sister likes to wear it when she takes her dog out for a walk, and she prefers to wear it wrapped around the neck, and it just keeps her really cozy when she's out and about. So as you can see, on the ends of the shawl I have added in some tassels. So I think that was my first time making or putting tassels onto a shawl, so I wasn't too sure about it. I mean, in the past, in the shawls that I've made, I've never added any kind of tassels or anything like that, because they have been quite fine, almost delicate shawls. Whereas this Hinterland shawl, because it has that kind of chunky weight to it, I thought that adding tassels to it would add, would just add to it a little bit, I thought. So that is my Hinterland shawl. So I have all the details of these shawls on my Ravelry page. You can find me there under Creative Pixie, and I have all my projects shared there, and I've listed down all the yarns I've used. I've tried to link in the dyers or the brands that I've used, and also needle and hook sizes for that. So I hope I've provided you with some inspiration on shawl knitting. I was actually quite surprised looking back to see how many shawls that I have knit and crocheted in the past. I actually did find a shawl that is still a work in progress from several years ago that I still haven't finished yet, so I need to get started on that. And I'm actually looking forward to starting on some other shawls. I mean, from the last video when I went through my yarn stash and I discovered some really beautiful yarns that should be used, I have found some yarns that would make some beautiful shawls. So I'm going to have a flick through Ravelry and see what I have in my library, in my queue, and get some inspiration to get using those shawls. So thanks very much for coming along today and watching my video. If you've lasted this long, thank you so much. I hope I've provided you with some inspirational shawls to knit and crochet, and if you have any favourite shawls that you have made, please share the name in the comments below, because I would love to see what you've made. I hope to have normal service resuming soon. I am currently working on a pair of socks, and I've got a few other things in the pipeline. So thanks very much for joining me today. I hope to see you again soon, and don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, please press the like button and also subscribe. Thank you. Bye.